Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be continuing my review of Sleep Token's album Sundowning, and we're going to look at the song Say That You Will, a follow-up to the song Sugar on the album. If this is the first video you're watching, I will have a playlist linked with all the other songs on this album, and I've already done the other two Sleep Token albums. If you want to check out what I think about the rest of the trilogy, I didn't really do it in order. So that's a little bit weird, but you can go back and look and see what I thought about the other albums if you're interested. Alright, so I'm going to pull this up on Spotify here, and we're just going to have the lyrics go by as the song goes. So we'll just get right into it. This is Say That You Will.
Is that a word to say my love, or just a gesture in tongues? Well, I live to guess your sorrow, and you live to empty my lungs. You've got me up in a frenzy again, and I know you're planning to leave in the end.
Oof. So this song, in stark contrast to the way that Sugar ended with the big epic kind of ending, starts off really understated. There's this little, I guess, like eighth note, little repeated piece that's going on at the very start with just Vessel singing, and his voice, I don't want to say that there's just something about Sundowning where I'm instantly drawn in just with his voice. I'm not saying that doesn't happen on like Take Me Back to Eden or This Place Will Become Your Tomb, but there's just something just heartbreaking about his delivery here that doesn't, it's not quite the same on those albums, and I'm not saying it's worse on those albums by any means, but just the way he's doing his delivery here is just so unique. It pulls me in immediately, and I understand like what the song is about without even having to look at the lyrics. I feel like just the emotional idea is already there. And then we get to the chorus, and we get his kind of falsetto thing going on. He's doubling it an octave apart, is what it sounds like, the main melody there. And we bring in a little bit more emphasis on these chord changes that are going on, which are really interesting. The chord changes are kind of offbeat a little bit. They kind of, there's a push and pull to it where it doesn't always fall right on the beat like you might expect for this kind of thing. The thing that's really interesting about this song, at least so far, is my theory about the story is that at this point in Sundowning, he has summoned Sleep. She is appearing to him, and they're together. But you can tell in this song, she's not really all there. She's still appearing kind of like an apparition. There's some separation between them. And this is mirrored in the lyrics here, right? These first two lyrics, is that a word you said, my love, or just a gesture in tongues? I live to guess your sorrow. That kind of thing kind of implies that they can't really communicate very well. Like he either can't hear her or she can't talk, something like that. And you live to empty my lungs. It's like he is her voice. And he knows that she's not really there, it seems like. Or her hold or her ability to stay in this realm with him is fleeting. She is going to leave. It says, I know you're planning to leave in the end, which makes it seem like she's going to make the decision, okay, I'm gone, if you don't continue this, I guess, grief and mourning to keep me here, right? And then we get this very interesting chorus. Like, on the first listen of this song, I remember I liked it, but I don't think I got it the first time I listened to it. One, it's kind of hard to decipher, at least for me, what he's actually saying in this chorus because of the falsetto. I just have a hard time understanding the lyrics there, personally, so it's nice to have them in front of me. But this is super interesting. Let the impulse to love and the instinct to kill entangle to one. In this light you are mine till the sweat turns to blood. Won't you say that you will, even if you won't? So before I kind of understood what he was saying here, I understood the last two lines. Won't you say that you will, even if you won't, I should say. And I thought he's just begging her to stay. But it doesn't seem like that's really what's going on here. It's not, will you stay? It's, will you take me with you? And it's almost like he wants a mercy killing to happen here, right? He's wanting her to bring him with her back beyond the veil so they can be together, which is super sad. It's way more, I guess, violent and heartbreaking than my initial read, which was already really, really sad. But this idea of this underlying violence and this love mixed together is an ongoing theme in all of Sleep Token's work, so it's not really that surprising here, but man, it sure does tug on the heartstrings.
Is that a glance in your eye? Is that a blade in your palm? Well, I am yours tonight, so will you lay in my arms? You've got me up in a frenzy again. I know you're planning to leave in the end.
The chorus is a little more driving this time, adding a little more percussive elements. Added like a kick to really keep us going. I just want to point out with the production here just how big this sounds, even though there's not anything in the mix that is super like powerful sounding, I would say. It's not like we've got like really distorted guitars coming in or like really, really loud drum hits. The bigness of it is just all of the reverb. It sounds like we're in a huge room. Stuff is just bouncing around. It gives us this dreamy quality, which I think is supposed to be reflected in the idea that Sleep is not fully there with him. I think this song has a lot of parallel to the song The Apparition in that it presents Sleep truly as kind of like not really being there. And I think that's what the Vessel's trying to get across with the production here. This is a very good way to show how you can kind of repeat a chorus twice, right? There's repeating stuff like this can be a little tricky because you don't want it to be boring and drag on too long, but Sleep Token in particular is good at adding elements, kind of pushing the song forward, making things louder very incrementally. You almost don't notice it. just adding more to the track, whether it be a synth, whether it be like I said, there's a kick that comes in to keep us going. They're very good at this. And it's what I love about their kind of more muted moments. They're a very dynamic band because they will bring it up and kind of earn the payoff for a song. This repeated synth thing here. This is very rhythmically dense. But it's a nice chord progression. Yeah. This is super interesting. So I don't want to. I'll continue to the end of the song from here, but this part here, now that I'm like really honing in on it, I always thought it was in a different time signature. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, all these kind of offbeat things happening. Usually you can count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 really easily. Like the rest of the song, right? Even when we started, there's like this kind of repeated motif thing that keeps you locked in and you know where the beat is. But that goes away in this section. And I thought it was maybe in 7 or something weird going on, but I just sat there and kind of tapped it out. And I think what's happening that makes this interesting is 2, their drummer, is like hitting like a crash cymbal on like intervals of 3 sometimes, so it kind of sounds like we're doing like 1 2 3 1 1 2 3, like some weird like hits. But especially when the vocals come in, it's easier to track where the beat is. This is like pretty rhythmically dense, so even though we're repeating this thing a bunch, to me it stays fresh because it's not what you would expect to hear here. Just like in the chorus where the basically the chord changes happen at weird times, we're getting weird accents for this piece of the song. So that's super interesting to me. It's easier to lock into it whenever we've got him Vessel singing over top of this, and there is that like da 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 thing that's going on and on to help like ground us in the synth. But super interesting. And I'll back up just a little bit. Yeah, if you count this is very weird. It looks like 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 1. It's very weird. Like that's how I would count it, but it's very clearly in 4. Back to the synth part from the start. Very spacey now. So that's a really nice kind of way to end that. We go right back to where we started. We bring everything back down again. Yeah, this song, has quickly kind of shot up to one of my favorites on the album. It's kind of got everything I would want in a song like that. It's got the emotional pull. It's got the really, really strong chorus, and then a very rhythmically interesting outro. Even though he's repeating the same thing and repeating that kind of rhythm over and over in the guitars and the drums, there's something to kind of discover when you listen to it, which makes it not as repetitive as it could be, as you try to figure out how to count it or something like that. And even if you're not trying to count it, like I am, you're probably trying to figure out how you're supposed to like feel what's going on, subconsciously even. Wow. So I think I covered all the lyrics there, but the idea there reinforces, I think, my idea that there's a lot of this just longing to be with Sleep again, but he knows what that's going to require, right? She's no longer living. She's going to leave again, to return, beyond the veil, is what I've been saying. And he can't join her as long as he's still living, so he has this, motif here of say that you will, even if you won't take me with you, just say we're gonna leave together. That undertone of violence with the love, just a very Sleep Token thing. But that's all I have today. Next time I'm gonna look at Drag Me Under, the second to last song on the album, so keep an eye out for that one. It'll be coming fairly soon. I'm gonna try to get all this done before the end of the year. It's kind of surreal to be rounding out the end of my review of the whole trilogy. So if you've been here since the start, if you like watching these videos, I thank you for hanging on with me. I'm probably spent more time than most anybody thinking about Sleep Token, but I really do love this band, and I hope you'll continue with me to the end, and I will see you on the next one.